In this video, you'll learn how to assemble a blind base cabinet. To assemble this cabinet, you will need the following tools and supplies: a power drill equipped with a Phillips head bit or a Phillips head screwdriver, a dead blow hammer or rubber mallet, and a staple gun. While an air-powered pneumatic staple gun will make the job easier, you can also use an inexpensive manual staple gun. We tested the Aero Model T50 heavy-duty staple gun with success, and this model can be found for under $20 at most hardware stores. You'll also need the appropriate 3/8 or 10mm staples for your staple gun, as well as a bottle of wood glue, which will form the primary bond that holds your cabinet together. A pneumatic pin nailer will help you assemble drawers quickly, but it is not required since the drawers can also be fastened together using wood glue. We'll show you both ways of assembling them. If you aren't using a pneumatic nailer, you will need a hammer and some 2D finish nails to attach your cabinet's toe kicks. To get started, you'll assemble your cabinet drawers. Identify and separate the parts that make up your drawer, and visually inspect them to determine the proper orientation, making sure that the bottom groove is properly aligned. If you're using a pin nailer, press the dovetail joints together by hand, and then use a rubber mallet or dead blow hammer to tap the joint until it is flush. Follow that up with 3 or 4 pin nails along the seam. If you don't have access to a pneumatic pin nailer, here's how to assemble the drawers using wood glue. First, apply a small amount of wood glue into each section of the dovetail joint. Make sure that the groove for the drawer bottom is properly oriented, and then press the dovetail joint together. Use a dead blow hammer or a rubber mallet to tap the dovetail joint together until it is flush. Finally, wipe off any excess glue with a damp cloth. Repeat this process as needed to complete your drawer's assembly. Next, we'll be working with the front panel. Lay it face down on a soft surface to avoid damaging it, and then we'll apply a bead of glue along each groove. If you accidentally apply too much glue, you can wipe it off easily with a damp cloth. Now we'll attach some assembly brackets along the edge of the groove. We'll use the 1/2-inch rounded head screws to attach them. The purpose of these assembly brackets is to hold the side panel firmly in place while the wood glue dries to form a permanent bond. Notice how the edge of the assembly bracket should line up flush with the groove. Slide the side panel in place, make sure all the edges are flush, and then fasten it together using the same 1/2-inch screws. Add another assembly bracket near the center for additional support. And add a corner bracket at the top. Now we'll repeat the previous steps on the opposite side. Now it's time to slide the bottom shelf of the cabinet into place. Attach more assembly brackets to the bottom to ensure everything stays in place while the glue forms a permanent bond. Also attach some assembly brackets to the side. Only do one side at this time, as you'll want to wait until the back is in place to do the other. Slide the back into place in the grooves. Make sure everything's lined up nicely and staple it together. Fasten the back panel in place by installing the 1¼ wood screws into the pre-drilled holes. Now you can fasten the remaining side in place with an assembly bracket at the bottom. Now you want to attach the toe kick. Use a pin nailer to do so. If you don't have a pin nailer, use a hammer and some 2D finish nails. Now it's time to install the hinges. Put them in place in the doors as shown and attach them using the screws that are included with them. The doors on a blind base cabinet can be installed on either opening on either side, so take your kitchen's layout into consideration before mounting the doors as well as the blind base cover. Fasten the hinges in place using the screws that drawer glides in place on the back panel in the pre-drilled holes as shown. Don't forget to attach the clear bumpers to the back of the drawers and the doors. Put the plastic part of the drawer glides in place on the back panel in the pre-drilled holes as shown. Fasten them in place using the small screws supplied with them. Once you've got the plastic part of the glide mounted, you'll want to attach the metal part to it. Here's how they connect. Once you've got it connected, fasten the metal part to the faceplate using the screws supplied. Now it's time to install the drawers onto the glides. Here's how they connect. Finally, use 1/2-inch wood screws to attach the blind panel to complete your cabinet.